Hello, we're with Mark Cutifani from AngloGold Ashanti. Mark, apart from being the world's third largest gold miner, what's unique about AngloGold Ashanti?
I think firstly the fact we're in gold, which is quite, in my mind, a unique commodity these days. People still struggle to get their head around what gold is, and for those that aren't used to what we talk about today, it's money. And so we're a mining company that mines money. And so I think that in of itself is unique. Secondly, we are a global company. We're in 25 countries, and if you look at the global gold mining companies, we are literally the most global. We're in 25 countries. We're working across 4 significant continents, so I think our global reach is quite significant. And we've got 63,000 of the best people in the world.
Could you provide an overview, please, for us of your operations, your projects, and particularly in Australia?
Well, let's start with Australia. We've got Sunrise Dam, an operation that's been around for about 15 years, starting to go through a bit of a rebirth because we've extended our exploration to depth. It looks like we could have another 15 to 20 years life from an underground operation, so a great future there. We've got a new prospect called Tropicana, which is eastern Western Australia, which is the first or the most significant gold discovery in terms of new regions in Australia for the last 10 years, so that's a significant development. Being developed now, $700 million. We'll be producing first gold by the end of 2013, so we're very excited. If you look across the globe, about 35% of our production comes from 6 mines in South Africa, the deepest mines in the world. Another 30-odd% of our production in continental Africa, another 12 countries in Africa where we're operating. We're in the US, Brazil, Argentina, a whole range of new developments in Colombia. We've got new exploration plays in the Middle East. So quite an extensive global footprint. Very excited in terms of what we're doing for the future.
And what will the key catalysts be over, say, the next 6 to 12 months?
I think my view is gold is ready for another run. We've seen 10 years of growth, but it really reflects the cost of doing business across the globe. I still think it's relatively underpriced relative to other commodities. At $1,600 an ounce, the industry is only just returning. In fact, most areas are not returning their weighted average cost of capital, so I think we've still got a bit more fuel in the tank. So I think that will be a change, and I think the second thing will be a view on equities. I think equities are underpriced. My view is we're trading at probably half our intrinsic value. So I think gold price and a view on equities and the ability of companies to do well in this environment will be the 2 key things that will certainly make a change from our perspective.
Are you able to say anything more about the gold price?
Well, I've said very clearly across the globe that the cost to produce an ounce of gold today is about $1,250 an ounce. When you take into account exploration, capital, cash operating costs, sustaining capital, all those things put together, it's about $1,250 on average. And in fact, if you take new capital that's being pumped into the industry, it's over $1,400 an ounce. So the margins are very slim. It's a tough industry. The major players have been stubbing their toes on a few projects around the place. So I think on fundamentals, gold price is still a bit of a way to go. I think from an industry perspective, to return weighted average cost of capital, you need $1,700 to $1,750. And with inflation running at more than 10% across the industry, I would expect to see gold prices to continue marching forward around $150 an ounce a year from that base.
And what are the biggest challenges your company is facing?
I think from a global industry perspective, it's access to prospective ground. That's the toughest thing we're facing. Resource nationalism, people concerned about whether they're getting the right value out of mining projects across the globe. And cost structures and relative to price. I think those are the 3 biggest challenges, and ones that, if we deal with well, will certainly set us aside in terms of our competitors, and they're the areas that we're focusing on.
You've also taken on worker safety as a challenge too, haven't you?
Well, from our point of view, the biggest challenge we had in the global business 4 years ago was safety. We'd had 37 fatalities in 10 months in 2007. We really changed the way we thought about doing work and the way we work with people, and we've improved safety by about 70%, but it's still not nearly good enough, and remains our most critical operating activity, and certainly one that within 5 years we want to be able to stand up and say we're fatality free, and we will get there.
And finally, could you give us a brief overview, please, of the board and management team?
The board is about 50% South African participation. Our chairman was the former Reserve Bank governor for South Africa, one of the top Reserve Bank governors. I think he was ranked top 10 for something like 8 years running. So very experienced, global understanding of business and a good understanding of South Africa and Africa in particular. We have Frank Arisman, previously from Morgan Stanley, understands gold very well. We have Rod Ruston, former coal miner from Australia, currently from North American, one of the North American contractors, doing very well. He's just joined the board. Mike Kirkwood, extensive experience in banking and finance, just joined the board from England. And we've got a range, Sipho Pitiana, Wiseman Kushlu, Bill Mann, all long-term South African stalwarts in terms of finance, project development and mining industry. So quite a good mix on the board.
Mark, thanks for your time.
Thank you.